A true man stands on his own principles, not because he is held up by others, and certainly not just for women. Yet many men lose this ground. They search for their worth in the attention of the opposite sex. Have you ever felt like your life is empty without a woman's validation? As if all your hard work only matters when they notice, and the moment that attention disappears, your motivation collapses. What's left is only a suffocating emptiness. In moments like that, you're no longer in control. Your life depends on something fragile. Their presence decides your drive, and without them, you feel lost. So you trade your ambition for shallow acceptance. You sacrifice your principles just to be close to them. Your dignity falls little by little. Without realizing it, you're selling your very identity. But women are not the center of a man's life. They are part of the journey, not the final destination. Yet many make them the center of gravity and end up trapped in an endless cycle. A man who lives only to chase women loses his foundation. Every step is shaken easily by rejection. His life becomes fragile, filled with illusion and obsession, not a life of strength and honor. Even worse, that obsession leaves you hollow, because all your energy is spent seeking validation. There's no greater direction, only endless pursuit, until all that remains is failure. This is the beginning of a story most men never realize. Failure doesn't strike all at once, but slowly. It begins the moment he makes women his center and abandons his true mission in life. Imagine a man working hard every single day, not for his own dreams, but just to impress women. Every achievement becomes nothing more than a display. Without them, all his effort feels meaningless. But women can change at any moment. Today she smiles, tomorrow she could walk away. And when that happens, your entire world collapses, because your foundation was built on them. This is the weakness most men never realize. They think they're chasing true love, but what they're really chasing is fragile validation. Validation that can vanish in the blink of an eye. A man who lives like this is never truly free. He becomes a prisoner of his own desire. Every step is controlled by obsession, not by a purpose he consciously chose. Worse still, this obsession erodes his dignity. The harder he chases, the more his pride crumbles. Even women lose respect for him, because he looks like he has no ground of his own. The cycle repeats endlessly. Chase, obtain, then feel empty again. Life becomes a loop of one illusion after another, without ever finding any real meaning. The bitter truth is simple. A man who lives only for women will never be satisfied. He will always feel lacking, always needing more, until he is drained, lost, and without direction. And it's at this point that failure begins to grow. Not the sudden kind of failure, but a slow decay. Piece by piece, his life is eaten away, until he no longer recognizes himself. A man is meant to live with a greater mission, not just to chase fleeting love. There are dreams, values, and principles to uphold. That's what gives life a clear direction. Women can be part of your journey, but they are not the center of your gravity. If they are your only center, your life becomes fragile, easily shattered the moment they are no longer beside you. A strong man is a man who stands on his own. It doesn't mean rejecting love or relationships. It means he can remain upright without dependence. His presence is whole because of who he is. If your foundation is built on principles and mission, you won't be shaken by rejection. Women become companions, not controllers, and that's what makes you truly free. Ironically, women respect men like this more. Men who are busy building their own lives, who don't place all their hopes on them. That's a kind of magnetism you can't fake. They see you as someone steady, not a man starving for validation and attention. And it's when you don't depend on them that respect naturally begins to grow. Your life becomes broader and more meaningful. You have greater pursuits to chase, not just romantic love that fades, but something that endures for a lifetime. And from here, your path begins to change. You reclaim your dignity once again, not from a woman's validation, but from your mission, a direction no one can easily shake. There's nothing wrong with loving women. The problem begins when it becomes your only obsession. You need something greater than that, a purpose that keeps you standing firm. Start by building yourself first. Take care of your body, train your mind, uphold your principles. Let your life be rooted in something solid, not in validation that can vanish at any moment. You must learn to stand tall on your own. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Don't lean on others. Only then will you be truly free." and even women will respect you more. Ironically, when you stop chasing, many things begin to come on their own, because women value men with clear direction, men who are busy building life, not just chasing. You are no longer a slave to desire, no longer controlled by fear of loss. Instead, you are the one holding the reins, and that is a man's true strength. The resolution is simple but hard to follow. Let go of the obsession to make women your center. Redirect that energy toward building a strong foundation. Your life will change slowly, but surely. With that foundation, you won't crumble easily. Rejection will no longer wound your dignity. A woman's presence becomes an addition, not a necessity. And that's the sign you've found your ground. A man who can do this becomes different. He no longer feels empty even when alone. His life is filled with purpose, not just pursuit. That is the path toward a complete life. You will fail if your life is only about chasing women, because that's not a foundation you can rely on. They may be here today, gone tomorrow, and your life collapses the moment they leave. Great men are built by their mission in life, not by how many women they've had. History remembers those with purpose, not those who were busy chasing love. Life is too short to be trapped in illusions. A woman's validation will never fill the void. Only principles and achievements can. Something that lasts far longer. Build yourself before chasing anyone. Stand tall with a clear direction. That way, a woman's presence is just a bonus, not the center of your entire world. When you have a mission, your attraction is natural. Women will see you differently, not as a man starving for attention, but as a man worthy of respect. That's the difference between ordinary men and strong men. One lives off external validation. The other draws strength from within, and that strength cannot be stolen. Remember, the control of your life is in your hands. Don't hand it over to a fragile obsession. Live with a greater purpose. That's what will make you truly whole. And when you dare to walk this path, you may feel lonely at first, but that loneliness builds your character. It strengthens you to stand on your own defeat, because a real man is not measured by how often he is accompanied, but by how strong he remains when he's alone. That's the test separating the fragile from the resilient, and it's a test you must face by yourself. After that, the world will see you differently. Even women will see you in a new light, not as a man who needs them to survive, but as a man who is whole even without them. In the end, the right woman will come, not because you chased endlessly, but because your life is already full of mission, and she simply complements, not defines you. This is the secret you must hold on to. Your life is too valuable to be enslaved by obsession. Use your time for what is lasting, and you will become a man who cannot be shaken. If this reflection struck you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Write in the comments, what's your biggest takeaway after watching this? I want to read your story. Don't forget to hit the like button so more men can find this reflection. And if you want more reflections like this, hit subscribe, because this journey isn't over yet.